Like, what did you just say to me? What? Like what? Do you want to die? I have hormones raging through my body. I could kill you and actually get away with it. Hi guys, so for my first blog post about pregnancy, I wanted to also incorporate this video so I can animatedly tell you how much these things have pissed me off. So I'm going to tell you a few things that you should probably not tell a pregnant lady. Well, at least for me, it pissed me off. So taking the #1 spot, you don't look very pregnant. You look like you gained 5 or 10 pounds. So what? So I look fat is what you're trying to say. Not that I look pregnant or anything, and not that I have raging hormones that may or may not make me want to murder you. You just called me fat. Out of my state of shock, I didn't really honestly say anything back to her. I have like this weird thing where if someone hurts my feelings, I automatically start to feel bad for that person because I feel like they come from like a spot, like they had to have a reason to say that to me, so they might not be in a good spot, and I just felt bad for her, and I was like, maybe she can't have kids, maybe she's trying to take a jab at me because she's jealous, so I just let that one slide, and I knew that I actually did kind of look fat, but that's what happens in the beginning. It's lots of fun. All right, so #2. In the beginning, most of you know, well, I had a big problem with drinking. My lifestyle before this was going out all the time, and then it all of a sudden changed. So then I was pregnant and I couldn't stand the fact that my husband was allowed or could go out and drink. We came up with an agreement for a little bit. He didn't drink or whatever. Say what you want, but it helped me get over the fact that I had a new life and I had to change, and he was my partner and he was helping me out and he was by my side, and that's what worked for us. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. That's what worked for me. So whatever. I just started getting into the idea that he was drinking and he could drink or whatever, and that's fine. And so he came to my work and he had a pitcher of beer, and just the thought of me seeing it raged me out, and I had to hold it back. I was like, Jackie, you said he could drink. You gotta calm down. It's gonna be okay. I'm fighting back tears. Tears. I almost cried over beer. That's ridiculous. Actually, it's not that ridiculous. In my world, it's not that ridiculous. Anyway, but to some people, that could be ridiculous. This lady, couple bar stools over, looks over and was like, oh, honey, congratulations. Now you can be DeeDee. When the is that ever fun? Yay! Or what I wanted to do, which I did do, I ran away and basically cried. Well, I actually did cry. So she told me, she's like, yeah, she's like leaning over. Now you could be DeeDee, which if you guys don't know what that means, designated driver. So for 9 months, I'm gonna be a designated driver. Yay! Who loves doing that anyway? Even when you can drink and you're designated as the sober person of the night and you have to hang out with all your drunk friends, who loves that? I don't. I never would, and now I definitely don't. So I cried. That's it. I just cried. I don't think that's like a nice thing to say to someone. Like, why would you say that? Oh yeah! Woo! DeeDee! Love it! #3. In the beginning, I didn't really think it was that offensive, and then until I got it a lot, and then I wasn't really understanding why these people cared about my nipples. Why do you care? Why do you care if I'm breastfeeding or not? Every single time I talked to somebody, whether I was close to them or a complete stranger, they would go up to me and be like, are you breastfeeding? Why do you care about my nipples? Is that like a weird, I just personally, and then I like try to flip-flop it and be in their shoes and like think about it. I would never ask somebody that. Hey, how are your nipples doing? You breastfeeding? Is he latching on? Like, that's just such a weird thing. Unless I ask you, or you know me personally and you know that I'm gonna do that and you wanna offer some advice, sure, I completely understand. Or if you're coming from a loving spot, completely understand. But most of the time, the women asking me this, in the beginning I realized, they were not prepared for me to say I'm bottle feeding. It almost pissed them off. Most of the women got pissed off. I don't care if it's natural. I don't care if your grandmother did it and your mom did it and then you did it and then now you want your daughter to do it and you can't understand why I don't want to do it. I think it's weird. I just can't get over it. Maybe my whole life will change when the baby is born and I'm like, oh, I just have this epiphany. Like I have to breastfeed. Like this is what I have to do. But for right now, I don't want to. Get over it. The world is still gonna spin and my baby is gonna turn out just fine. Just fine. He'll be fine. I promise. Number 4. This one's gonna get a little serious for me because anybody who knows me knows how serious I am about my career and what I love to do and how passionate I am about this and how passionate I am about you guys and how much I put myself out there and how much I just love what I do. So in conversation with someone, I was telling them how being pregnant, it messed up with my mind, it made me crazy, whatever, and I was in transition between 2 jobs. I felt like I was stuck and I couldn't get back into the career field, which I loved, until I came up with this idea, which I'm a genius, I feel like. Anyway, so I was in conversation with this person and they told me that after the baby is born, my career aspirations are not going to be as important as the baby. What? So something I love, which I totally understand, the baby's not here. I have no idea what kind of love I'm gonna have for my firstborn son. But you don't know how hard I work. You don't know how much I love this. Why do I have to give up something I love? And then on a whole nother like, does my husband is he gonna give up his job because he loves the baby so much? Why am I not gonna care so much? And wouldn't I be not giving my son the opportunity to see a hardworking woman and I'd be giving up something I loved? What kind of example am I setting? And on top of it all, I love what I do. A lot of people know that. So, and I worked really hard to get here. This morning I didn't feel good. I had an anxiety attack for no reason. I was stuck on the couch and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this video out. I gotta start my blog. I gotta get on the right path. That's a lot for me. And I'm just gonna give it up because this bundle of joy, which I'm gonna love, is gonna get here and I'm just gonna give this all up? I don't think so. Anyway, I wanna show my son what a mom working looks like. That's what I had as a role model. I only had a mom and she worked really hard and she set the tone for me and I love it. I think that's a character trait that I love. I love working very hard. I'm proud of it. So I want to show my son that. On a second note with that, if you hate your job, I totally understand. Quit. Love your baby. The world is good. And number 5. Number 5 is going to be really controversial. You guys are going to like probably have something to say about this, but it's not really something you should not say. I'm like out of breath. This is what happens when you get pregnant too. My lungs are like squished up because there's no room for the baby to go because I'm so short. So my lungs get really squished up and I'm really like animated and into this right now. So I'm like losing my breath. All right, back on track. So number 5 is, what is it? And that happens too when you're pregnant. You forget everything. You have like pregnancy brain. Oh, it's gonna be controversial. You may not agree with me, but when people tell me, I'd be in conversation with a woman and she'll say, I loved being pregnant. Oh, you loved heartburn? You loved not being able to breathe? You loved forgetting what you were about to say? You loved throwing up? You loved the aches and pains? You loved getting huge? I don't like totally buy it. But if you loved it, please don't let me take this away from you. You loved it, you cherished it, good for you. Good for you, but this has been the most uncomfortable thing physically and mentally for me, and I wasn't prepared because society, and this is a whole nother topic, but society paints this picture. You have to be like happy and loving and stuff. And when women told me that, and I was already comparing myself to like people in the magazines and celebrities and stuff, and then I'm talking to a real everyday mom, and she told me she loved it, I would think something's wrong with me in the beginning. I thought, what's wrong with me? Why don't I love being pregnant? What am I missing? And I would go home and be like, I gotta enjoy this, I gotta try, but like, I wanna also rip my skin off because it's stretching and so itchy. So if you loved your pregnancy, please don't let me take that away from you. I'm not trying to offend you, but I would like put some feelers out to the person you're saying that to maybe, because most of the time I was talking to people telling them how like depressed I felt or how crazy I felt or how uncomfortable I am, and then in return you tell me, oh, I loved my pregnancy, or talking to someone, oh, my mom loved her pregnancy. Well, I don't. So everybody's different. Just try to be kind of conscious of who you're saying that to, because I would compare myself. It wasn't until I started speaking out like this that I found that other moms were just like me and didn't love it. Yes, I'm gonna love the bundle of joy that comes out of this, and it's more so I'm looking at it like a labor of love, but it has not been a cruise down, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to think of something like happy, like it's not like a walk in the park, but I was trying to like come up with my own thing, but failed. Oh my God. This is the worst one. A person came up to me and asked me if it was planned. What? You're asking me if my pregnancy was planned? What does it matter? Why does it matter? Why does it matter if it was planned or not planned? Both are equally as important. Both are equally as great and awesome. Why do you ask? Yeah, my baby's an oops baby. I'm an oops baby. How many oops babies are out there? Why does it matter? He's not gonna turn out any different. I'm still gonna love him to death. Anyway, yeah, that was terrible. Was it planned? No, I was mid-wedding planning. I was mid in my life and bam, you're pregnant. Anyway, so those are my top 6 things you should probably never tell a pregnant lady, or at least me, all right? Tell me what you think, maybe underneath. Tell me if you agree. Tell me if something crazy was said to you, or if you disagree, I'd like to hear it too. I can't wait to read all your comments, and I'll see you next time.